Welcome once again to another edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews online. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, which I hope you will find informative, and it might inspire you to purchase the book that I'm about to review. And the book is The Woman Who Would Be King, the Madusa story by Debrah Miceli, written with Greg Oliver. This is published by ECW Press, and it retails for $34.99. I'm a wrestling fan from way back. Maybe not current wrestling, but I grew up in the 60s, so I loved wrestling and anything to do with wrestling. And this is an interesting story from a lady who was a wrestler. Now, it's most fascinating because in the book, she makes some interesting dedication. She says, "Dedicated to my mom, who absolutely hates the thought of this book. To my father, a man that never knew I existed. To the family and friends that stuck around, not wanting a thing. To careers that nearly killed me emotionally, financially, and spiritually. To my fans, past, present, and future, you truly are my energy to continue. To all those that are lost, may they be found and heard. Most of all, to love, patience, and spiritual healing, for helping me always find a way." This is really a most interesting book. She really has not a lot of love for her mother. It sounds like a love-hate relationship. The man that she thought was her father, there was sexual abuse as she grew up. So she didn't have an easy life. And she was always fascinated by wrestling, so she decided to make the leap into the ring when she joined the AWA, American Wrestling Association, which was led by one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, Vern Gagne. That was in 1987. And right away, she proved that she had what it took. Now, a person who coached her and encouraged her was Paulie Dangerously, who is known today as Paul Heyman. He's in the WWE. He's a manager of Roman Reigns and the brothers that I can't think of their name offhand. But anyways, he's very prominent. Now, he coached her and he encouraged her. And she was such a great wrestler that she was voted Pro Wrestling Illustrated Rookie of the Year in 1988, and she was the first female to ever be voted the Rookie of the Year. So she had a lot going for her. Then she went to the WCW from the AWA, and she was very popular there. But then she made the leap to the WWF, which it was called the WWF back then, World Wrestling Federation, before it became WWE, and Paulie Dangerously was also there, and he encouraged her as well. Now, in the WWF/WWE, they changed her name from Madusa, which was what she wrestled under in the AWA. They changed her name to Alundra Blayze, and she won the women's title. Several times she won the title. Now, she decided she was going to leave the WWF/WWE, and she took the title with her, and she went back to WCW, where on one of the Monday night shows, she took the belt and she threw it in the trash can, which was a major slap in the face to the WWE and to Vince McMahon, who was the head of the WWE. In fact, she was blacklisted by the WWE for 20 years. She eventually came back and was voted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2015. So the bad blood was sort of settled, but it was absolutely fascinating. Now, when she was in the WWE, her main opponent was Bull Nakano, this hulking woman who was, she became a good friend to her too. But the story is fascinating as she climbed up the wrestling ladder and she got more confidence and people liked her. She was a fan favorite, sometimes a villain, but anyways, wrestling was not the only thing she did. She decided to get into monster trucks. And she had a huge truck called Madusa. And she really kicked butt there. And she felt that she was at the top of the heap there. And she won a lot of competitions. And she was known as the Queen of Carnage in the monster trucks. So you can say this girl, Debrah Miceli, has had an absolutely fascinating life. There's been, ups and downs. Like I said, the sexual abuse, and there were dark times in her life. But she tried to have children. She had many miscarriages. She tried to have in vitro fertilization. She spent a lot of money, nearly $70,000 for that, but she thought it worked, but it didn't work. So she's a animal lover, and she is currently married. She's happy, and she's a lecturer, and she's a role model to many, many wrestling fans. So if you're a wrestling fan and you remember Madusa / Alundra Blayze, then this book is really an interesting read. I've read worse wrestling books, but it's an honest story. She tells it right from the heart. She holds nothing back, and it's a little different. So wrestling fans, long live the king, as she called herself. But anyways, actually the title was suggested, The Woman Who Would Be King, by Paul Heyman. He was the one who suggested the title, so that's how she got the title. So anyways, if you do go to the store and purchase the book, let me know if you do agree with my review. So until we meet again, and we will with lots more books, stay safe, stay sane, stay in touch, and I will see you at the bookstore. And thanks again for watching. Bye for now.